Well, howdy, folks. And what we say here is Yahoo. It's Yahoo. Not yee-haw or hee-haw, whatever. Here are personal vlog number 37. This is just my Calgary Stampede memories here. This is, the greatest outdoor show on earth here, the Calgary Stampede. It's our big summer festival that happens every July here. The earliest it starts is July 3rd. Latest it starts is July 9th, and now there ends from the 12th to the 18th here, depending on how the calendar falls. And this year being 2019, it starts on July 5th and ends on July the 14th there. Although I always say it unofficially starts Thursday night before, where you have a sneak a peek where you can head down for a discount and just take a look at all the exhibits and that. But pretty much it's a big Western culture show where you got a carnival, your rides, your crazy, obscure midway foods, and then part of the Western heritage and hospitality here in Calgary that we're known for. You got the big rodeo, and you got the Grandstand show, including the chuckwagon races here. So, it's definitely great for what it does for Calgary and the local economy here. And for me as a local, some years I feel it more than others, but this year I'm leaning towards I'm not feeling it. But it just when you're in your own backyard, it's like what happens every year. I guess it's almost like asking somebody in Anaheim or Orlando, Florida, about what do you think about Disneyland and Disney World respectively here. But it's still one of the big Canadian cultural festivals that happens every year here. So let's go over my memories for personal vlog number 37 here. Thing is, I don't really remember when or what my first Calgary Stampede was like. I don't really have much memories of that. I know I do have memories when I was younger. There was a kids midway and a kids section at the Stampede there where, then you always get the carnival games that. But I don't have, I do remember some years going with my family, but there was other years that we actually went away for the Stampede growing up that, because I know back when I was growing up with Mom and Dad there, I actually almost made a point to get away for the Stampede that my mother has a friend from high school that she still sees today, but they lived at the time, Mom's friend lived in Kelowna there and had some kids, so we came over to visit them in Kelowna, and then years they come over and visit us later in the summer. But generally, that was some of my Calgary Stampede memories that growing up was that we spent it away from the city in Kelowna there, but that was when I was much younger there. But as you get a little older and get a little more semi-independent there was some years that I've gone to the Stampede. There was another year I remember going down to the Stampede grounds and went to at the time it was the WWF show, so there was a WWF show happening at the Saladom at the time, and I know this was in the early 1990s, but all the years that I did remember growing up, there were always the dog show, Super Dogs, and they had that, the old Stampede Corral, and I know Coca-Cola, well, that's the soft drink I prefer over Pepsi, is also a sponsor of Stampede, and I know there was another year that they had some big Coke show. I remember that was also in the Stampede Corral, and then, when you're younger, you like the rides and that, and me, when I go to the Stampede now, I don't really do the rides. I take in all the culture and the exhibits there. At the BMO Center is also a big exhibition where you get a lot of the vendors and that trying to sell products and that. But you get your generic stuff that you get a carnival and rodeo there. But one thing I definitely don't recall if I ever did. I've been to a couple rodeos, and it's always great to watch the rodeo. I mean, it's definitely one of the things you have to do when you go to Stampede, but I don't ever remember going to a Grandstand show yet, believe it or not, and I've been here all my life. I mean, sometimes you watch the chuckwagon races that they have on TV, and, you know, back in the day, he's long past, but Joe Carberry, the famous voice that says, and they're off, after he said, there goes the horn, and they're off, and he kind of said it like that, in that kind of rough Western voice there, but, you know, that he did that for over 40 years, but, you know, you get to hear a lot of the auctions going on in the rodeo, you know, promoting the Western livestock there. But I'm going to say the most memories that I have from the Stampede is definitely the centennial in 2012, where we were celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Stampede, when first you had the big four businessmen and Guy Weedick all came together in 1912, and at the time they were, if you look up the history there, they were thinking it was just one last hurrah Western party that they threw back in 1912, and it actually used to happen in September there, and then they were impressed by how much the turnout is, and it's happened every year since then, and it was definitely extra special to celebrate a centennial there back in 2012, and you know, then on the weekends there they had simultaneous fireworks shows that I was near at the time, a couple locations there, and I captured those videos of the light up the night, and it was all synced to music there, so it was definitely extra special there. However, the other Stampede that I think was extra special and definitely was needed for the city at the time was the next year in 2013 here. And incredibly there, it was actually a couple weeks before when the Stampede was scheduled there. That's when we had the devastating floods where, you know, the Elbow and Bow River definitely swelled and flooded much of downtown Calgary, including the Calgary Stampede grounds there, and within a couple weeks they were able to tie it up so you have the infield all ready for the carnival and the rodeo, and fortunately they had to cancel events at the Saladome there because it went up to the 10th row of the Saladome there and the events level there, and there were some shows and concerts that I understand we had to get canceled there, and I mean, incredibly they were able to fix up the Saladome in time so that the Flames and Hitmen could still start their regular season, preseason and regular season on time as per schedule there. I mean, and then it was definitely was much needed for the city at the time, because I mean the city was still a little subdued, and definitely a lot of businesses count on it, and we were still able to pull off the Stampede there. And then of course a couple years ago I was able to take it all in for Canada 150. I didn't know if I was going to go there because I did a football trip at the time, and then I had some other family stuff that kept me busy there, and of course I didn't know I was going to be able to go, but I went, and that's the last time I personally went to the Stampede. I'm not too sure if I'm going to go this year in 2019, but I mean, I'm not feeling it as much this year, but it seems to change every year, where some years I feel it more than the others. And I mean, for me and I used to work right downtown, and now I work just outside of downtown. I mean, you see enough buzz and you know, references to the event where everyone throws out their hay and put wooden you know, texture or decorations up to promote the Western heritage and culture of the Stampede there. So I mean, that's pretty much all my memories here, but I also still got something from 20 years ago that I definitely had to work hard for this prize here, because, you know, carnies, they can be a little dirty, and I definitely, this particular lady first she was praising me how I was playing the ping pong toss game like I was doing it right. And then when I threw the ball in the coveted bowl, it was a red bowl, and it's like I got the biggest prize. Let's say she suddenly turned sour, and let's say there's a word that rhymes with witch to describe her, but I still have this 20 years from now. I definitely got Big Red here. Actually, it was in 1999 that I got Big Red here. He guards my bed every day. I mean, he's a little dusty and that, but this is 20 years ago, and you can only imagine how much you would buy, how much this would cost if you bought this at the toy store today. Or, I mean, we still got Toys R Us here in Canada here, but they closed the shop in the US, but here it's coming back. But I definitely have to earn Big Red here and play tough with that carnie that she said she was playing the game right, and then suddenly she was calling me a cheater because I won the big prize. But I guess that's how Jason Kenney felt too when he was accused of cheating and he was cleared of winning our provincial election here. So I guess eventually myself 20 years ago and Jason Kenney today eventually got what he wanted. Not meaning to throw politics in there, but it's the only analogy I came up with. But yeah, that's definitely my Stampede memories here. I mean, I'm a single guy here, so I don't have any extraordinary stories about finding that special someone or proposing to someone, or at least I stayed out of trouble too, so at least I don't have that to describe with memories, because you got people that also get in trouble during the Stampede, and that's the other thing. I'm also starting to get to that age that, it takes longer to recover from, alcohol, and I'm going to say I'm going to probably sit this one out this year because I'm not feeling it. I mean, it is a little pricey to go as far. I mean, tourists would be able to pay anything, but the money that I could spend for the Stampede this year, I need it for my summer holiday later in August there. But do you have any Calgary Stampede memories that you'd like to share? I mean, obviously there's the comments below. This is all my personal vlog series. I'm hopefully going to be able to pump out a few more here in the summer, but it's a nice break from my Calgary sports content here. But of course, if you like everything I do on my YouTube channel, just make sure you hit like, subscribe, and follow along with the bell icon. And say as I'll see you in the next video, and it's Yahoo, not Yeehaw or whatever, and enjoy the Stampede if you go. So thank you.